Hello there, Yinka Ojo here with Guy Talk. I want to talk to men today, married men. I want to talk to you concerning a very interesting topic. But before then, if you are returning, you're already subscribed and you have watched my videos before, you are watching another one, oh, you're welcome. Thumbs up to you. Now, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you to like this. I want you to make comments and share this with people all over. I want you to press the notification bell to be sure that anytime I put up a new video, you are notified. So let's get into this. I have a topic here I want to talk to you today, especially married people. Now, if you're not yet married, doesn't matter. One day you're going to get married, you will need to remember and recollect this. But if you are married, I want to talk to you today on how to overcome extramarital sex. How to make sure that your marriage does not have affairs. How do you ensure that? Listen, I think the number of husbands who are unfaithful, it seems to be increasing astronomically. We seem to be having an epidemic, or we call it a pandemic, all over the world. A pandemic of extramarital affairs, a pandemic of infidelity, and a pandemic of adultery. But guess what? This doesn't have to be so. It doesn't have to be so. I've learned a number of key principles. I've been married for 29 years, never had an affair, never. And is it because you are a robot, you are an angel? No. It's not because I lack opportunities either, but because I have learned a few things along the line by the grace of God, which I want to share with you, and it has worked. I have learned something. If you do your best, based on what you know, you apply what you know, God will do the rest. He will help you. His grace is more than enough. I have seen women, wives, hurt so deeply. I've never seen the pain and the anguish greater than the anguish of a woman, a wife, discovering and finding out the husband has betrayed the marital trust. And the pain is so excruciating. And I see the reason why God says, listen, I want you to live pure and clean. Do not commit adultery. That's one of the 10 commandments. And the word of God also goes on to say in Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4 that fornicators and adulterers, God will judge. Fornicators means that single people who are having sex, God says, I'll judge them. I'll deal with them. And then God says that if you're married and you're having sex with other people that's not your wife, that God says, I'll also judge you. I don't want God to judge me. God is a serious judge. I saw how God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't want God to judge me. So I want to help you with a few keys here. If you can listen carefully, then apply it, you're going to have a marriage that does not have affairs. If you're already having affairs, listen to what I will share with you, and it's going to help you to get rid of it quickly. So what are the things that you ought to be aware of if you're a married man, so that you do not subject your marriage to affairs? Number one, emotional adultery or affairs in your mind. Some people have emotional affairs. They've not committed yet the physical act. They've not taken her to the hotel and taken her to bed, but they're calling her my babe, my bad habit, my sugar, my periwinkle, and that's not your wife. You have already crossed the line. You are already involved in emotional adultery, and it is as grievous as physical adultery. That's my number one principle. I decided to embrace that as a principle, that emotional adultery is as grievous as physical adultery. So I will not even cross that line. I will not allow my heart to get entangled. I will not allow any emotional entanglement in my life. That's why Jesus Christ himself said, if you look at a woman to lust after her, you've already sinned. That means the emotional entanglement is as grievous as the physical. So I stay away, not just physically, from getting involved with other women, also emotional. I don't allow my mind to start locking and start wondering, oh, how will she be in bed? No, I don't allow that. So, listen, man, you know how we are. We've got to discipline this area. I tell people that your most important sexual organ are not your genitals, it's your brain. your brain, your mind, what you used to think is your most crucial and most important sex organ. If you can get it right and get it disciplined, then your entire body and your entire life will flow in line of uprightness, rightness, and purity. The next thing is, I have a second principle. Never take a second look at a woman that is dressed in a seductive way. Now, ladies are all over the place dressed in seductive ways as if clothes are the noble clothes in the market. But there's nothing we can do about that. Until kingdom come, there will always be seductively dressed women on the internet, on the streets, in the offices, in the schools, anywhere you look at. All right? You can control your eyes nonetheless. You can control your mind nonetheless. We live in a free world. Unfortunately, people use their freedom for right things and wrong things. But hey, there's no law in the land that says that they cannot walk and dress like that. All you have to do is you discipline yourself. Make sure it does not affect you and your home negatively. So what do? If a lady passes in front of me and she's dressed with part of her mammary glands showing, and I wasn't banking on searching for such a sight, but my eyes passes in front and I see the first time, I train my brain never to go and look and say, what was that I just saw? Oh, no, don't do that. Because by the time you yield the second time, the devil has picked that signal and it's going to bombard your mind with lust. But I've noticed that if anybody, I enter into a restaurant or I enter into a mall and I see someone dressed that way, I just find something else to engage my eyes. That's all. And I notice that the brain is a very funny tool God has given us. My brain just adjusts and recalibrates immediately. Thoughts of lust do not grip me. But if I don't discipline myself, it's another ball game altogether. So keep that in mind. Never take a second look at a woman dressed in a seductive way. All right, whether it's in a magazine, whether it's on TV, whether it's on the internet, you just saw it mistakenly. I hope it's mistakenly. I hope you don't go searching for such nude pictures. You shouldn't. All right. Then number 3, avoid situations where you are ever alone with certain women, especially the ones that spell attraction to you, especially. But generally, with people of the opposite sex that are in the space in which you could have an affair with or friendship with, never stay alone with them. Especially, listen, every man seems to have certain kind of specifications unconsciously that they immediately gravitate towards. Once you know such people, make sure that whenever a person like that is around you, miles around you, you don't even stay near such, so that you don't create a scenario for yourself where you now have to begin to pray, our Father who art in heaven, or bind the devil. If you did not even create the scenario to start with, you will not need to start fighting and sweating. So be careful, be aware, be conscious. Watch and pray. Watch and pray means have your eyes open. All right. So this is very important. Then number 4, you have no business enjoying time alone with any lady, anybody of the opposite sex that's not your wife or your daughter. All right. Well, it's just an innocent business, a dinner. Call somebody else along. Get one of your friends to come along. Get one of your brothers to come along. Well, it's 3 is a crowd. Well, have a principle. Listen, the present Vice President of the United States says he does not meet with any lady alone. Either his wife is there, another male is there, or he doesn't do it. And he's been married for decades, no affairs. Oh, when he said that publicly during an interview, many people cried and screamed and shouted they didn't like it, especially women in the US hated it. But he said, I don't care what you say. Well, I don't have affairs. I want to make heaven. I'm sticking to my guns. And he's no scandal in his life. And that's very important. Number 5, any woman that feels comfortable with you, but when your wife comes around, the woman does not feel comfortable anymore. She has her mind on making you fall. It is better for you to assume that. Why should the person want to be your best friend and not want to be your wife's best friend? I don't even see any reason why you should have a best friend. You're married and you have a best friend who is of the opposite sexual gender. No, your best friend ideally should be your wife. And if you're going to have any other best friend, second, I call it assistant, deputy best friend, it should be another male. But personally, my best friend is my wife. My best friend has always been my wife. That's why I do it. All right. So, hey, any woman who feels comfortable with you but becomes uncomfortable at the presence of your wife plans to lure you into immorality. Take it from me. It's very important for you to realize. Never unburden deep personal details about your relationship with your wife with any other woman. Don't have any other woman you hold in confidence to talk about your wife. Oh, why are women like this? I need a female perspective. No, you need a divine Holy Ghost perspective. You don't need another female talking to you about, oh, this is what your wife means. That's how you open your heart up to affairs. These are the baby steps, the little foxes that spoil the vine. Never storm out due to a disagreement with your spouse. Many times when you do that, you storm out and the devil opens up the door for somebody else to give you the comfort that you don't need. All right? Now, there are a number of other things I can share with you about, but I want you to comment on what I've shared. Am I onto something? Is there something you've been helped with that I've shared today? If you have another question, I want you to comment. I want you to like this video. I want you to share this video. I want you to subscribe to this channel and let others know about this channel. Now, until next time, this is Yinka Ojo, Guy Talk, saying peace.